What speed measured in miles per hour does a car have to go to cover 150 miles in 1 hour and 20 minutes? Okay, so here we have our problem. Now, when you're dealing with any math word problem, always use the rule of three, and that is read the problem at least 3 times before you do anything. Okay, it's just a good habit to get into. What happens is if you read the problem once, you're like, okay, I understand, and you get excited and you start doing stuff. 9 times out of 10, you're going to take the wrong strategy, or two, you're not going to fully understand the problem or the question, and you'll make mistakes. So you got to be patient, really understand what's going on. So read the problem more than a few times. And here we're looking for the speed of this car, okay, and it's going 150 miles. And it's trying to cover this 150 miles in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we're looking for the miles per hour. Now, the best thing you can do when you're faced with a math word problem is to model the problem. Try to visualize the problem. And in this case, I think it's pretty easy to visualize because we can just kind of come up with a lovely sketch of a vehicle. And this is my sketch here. And so here we have this car. Okay, we're trying to determine how fast in miles per hour does this car have to go to cover 150 miles in this time, 1 hour and 20 minutes. Now, the thing here that you need to understand is that we're looking for speed. Okay, now if I asked you how fast this car is going, you would say, well, the speed of the vehicle is 60 miles per hour. Okay, but I'm going to give you another word that you need to understand. This is a very, very important word in math and in science, and that is rate. Okay, so I could ask you, what is the rate of this vehicle? So rate is the same thing effectively as speed, and it's the same thing as velocity as well. So if I said, what's the velocity of this vehicle? Well, there's some technical differences. We're talking about, for those of you that might understand, like vectors and whatnot, but just more or less, when you hear these words, speed, you think of rate or velocity, okay, how fast something's going. But I want you to be familiar with this word rate, and I'm going to explain, this in a little bit more in detail. Okay, so the rate of this vehicle is the same as the speed of this vehicle, and this is important because we need to establish this relationship between rate, okay, which of course would be speed, time, and distance, because that's what is going on. These are the variables that are in our problem, right? Now, of course, we're looking for miles per hour, which is the speed or the rate of the vehicle, but we have time and we have distance. So how do these three concepts or these things, three things relate? Well, let me go ahead and show you that right now. So this is a formula that you want to kind of commit to your long-term memory. Rate times time is equal to distance. Rate times time is equal to distance. And rate, again, you would think of this as, they say, speed, right? Okay, so speed times time is equal to distance, but there is a few things we need to pay attention here. So the first thing is rate. Now, in this particular problem, we're talking about the speed of the vehicle or the rate of the vehicle in miles per hour. Miles per hour. So I'm going to spend just a quick second explaining this. So I said rate, right? What is a rate in mathematics? A rate is effectively a fraction. Okay. Now it's a fraction where you're comparing two different units of measure. So let's say a car is going 60 miles per hour. This little p right there is like a fraction bar. I can really write this way, 60 miles, okay, per 1 hour. Okay, now we don't write it this way, 60 miles per 1 hour, but that's what this means, 60 miles per hour. Now, if a car is going 60 miles per 1 hour, okay, or 60 miles per hour, it would be going 120 miles per 2 hours, right? So this would be like how we would measure the speed or the rate of a vehicle. Now, to be clear, I did say that a rate is a fraction, but in mathematics, it's a fraction where you're comparing two units of measure that are completely different. So here, I'm comparing distance with time, okay? So another thing would be, let's say I have some sort of pump, and it pumps 30 gallons per minute. Okay, let's say I'm kind of pumping my pool out here, want to get the water out. So 30 gallons per minute would be what? 30 gallons, okay, per 1 minute. I'm comparing gallons and time. So anytime you're comparing Two concepts completely different. As with a fraction, you are dealing with a rate. Now, this is not to be confused with something called a ratio. And when you study rates and ratios, you also study proportions. So this is a big topic, and if you want to know more about it, check out my algebra courses. You can find links to those in the description below. But anyways, I wanted to be crystal clear on what a rate is, because that's very important to understand the solution to this problem fully. Okay, I just don't want to give you the kind of the fast version of what's going on here. I want I want you to be a certified professional expert. All right, so that's what a rate is, miles per hour. So if our rate is measured in miles, okay, miles per hour, well, what is our distance and what is our time? Well, our distance is miles. So here in our rate, we're comparing miles and hours. So the distance in this formula also must be in miles, okay? And our time must be measured in hours. So in other words, to use this formula, rate times time is equal to distance. If my speed is measured in miles per hour, then my time has to be in hours and my distance has to be in miles. Now, if your time, for example, is in minutes or seconds, you have to convert it so that it's in hours. If your distance, for example, was in feet, you would have to convert it for miles if you were working with miles per hour. So the one thing that you need to understand with formulas, especially something like this where there's units of measure involved, you have to get all the units of measure set or you will not be able to solve the answer correctly. All right, so here we go. So here we have our car. We have the distance is trying to get, cover 150 miles per hour in 1 hour and 20 minutes. Boy, they're definitely going to get a speeding ticket. So let's go ahead and define the variables here. So we know our rate times time is equal to distance formula. So what is the rate? Well, this is what we're looking for, right? This is the whole question. We don't know that. What is the time? Okay, well, our time is right here, 1 hour and 20 minutes. And what is the distance? 150 miles. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and put this all together into our lovely formula. So rate times time is equal to distance. So do I have the rate? No, I'm looking for the rate. That is the entire question. Do I have the time? Well, I have time, but I need it in all hours. Okay, here I have hours and minutes. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to kind of fix this up. And of course, I have distance in miles, so that's good. So we need to figure out 1 hour and 20 minutes is how many hours only. Okay, we can't have that minutes. So let's go ahead and work on that right now. So pretty straightforward stuff. So the time is 1 hour and 20 minutes. So this is in hours. That's not a problem. But what we need to do is figure out how many hours 20 minutes is equal to. Okay, so 20 minutes is how many hours? Well, it's 1/3 of an hour. Now, some of you might just kind of say, well, I know what that is. It's just 1/3 of an hour. And most of you, I think through common sense, could figure that out. But let's suppose you didn't understand why that is. Well, when you're trying to convert from one unit to another, and here we're trying to go from minutes to hours. Okay, how do we do that? Well, we have to get rid of this unit of measure that we don't want and put it into another unit of measure. And what we need is something called a conversion factor. So here is a conversion factor. Okay, we know that 1 hour is the same thing as 60 minutes. Okay, 1 hour is the same thing as 60 minutes. Now, we also know that 60 minutes is the same thing as 1 hour. So these things right here are called conversion factors. Now, which one do we use? Okay, in other words, we have to take our units here, 20 minutes, and multiply by one of these conversion factors to convert 20 minutes into hours. So which one do I use? Do I use this one or do I use this one? Okay, well, we need to use this one where minutes is in the denominator. Okay, and this is another very important point that a lot of people don't understand, because when you multiply fractions, we're going to be multiplying across here. Okay, 20 minutes is the same thing as 20 over 1. The idea is, you got to pay close attention, is that we want to cross cancel these minutes. Okay, I want to get rid of minutes and I want to be left with hours. Okay, so if I used this one where it's 60 minutes per 1 hour, okay, or to 1 hour, right up here, if I had minutes in the numerator, I would have minutes times minutes, or minutes squared. Okay, over hours. That's not the unit I want. So you got to be very careful. And the only reason I'm emphasizing this is because through the decades, I've probably graded maybe 10 million quizzes grade. Well, I mean, not that much, but you get the idea. I'm just telling you right now, these are very common mistakes, okay, and misunderstandings or misunderstandings. Well, yeah, this is where people really struggle, okay, in terms of converting units of measure. So pay attention to what you're doing. 20 minutes times 1 hour over 60. The minutes go away, and we're left with hours. So 20 times 1 over 60, right? So we got 60 down in the denominator. So 20 over 60. I can reduce this fraction, and that, of course, that'll be 1/3, but 1/3 what? 1/3 hours. Okay, so we know that 20 minutes is 1/3 of an hour. We already have this hour, so this is going to be 1 hour, okay, plus this 1/3 of an hour, so that'll be 1 1/3 hours, okay, no minutes, and now we have our time all in hours. All right, so a lot of little kind of sub things going on here, right? Talking about what a rate is and how to convert units of measure. These are all the little small details that get students in trouble where they can't figure a problem out. But no worries, because I can see you right now. You're like, I get it, Mr. YouTube Math Man. Hurry up and finish this problem because I want to go off and do something else. All right, let's go ahead and finish this thing up because we are finally there. All right, so we're looking for the rate. And of course, that is the speed in miles per hour. Now we have our time in all hours, okay? And our distance is in miles, so our rate, okay, will be in miles per hour, okay? So we're all set up. So let's go ahead and apply some basic algebra to solve this equation. So rate times time is equal to distance. Time is again going to be 1 1/3 hours. I'll just drop the units of measure for now. And distance is 150 miles. So we're going to be solving for R. All right, so here this is a mixed fraction. So 1 1/3 is the same thing as 3 times 1, which is 3 plus 1, or 4/3 R. Okay, so this is a variable. When you have a variable like x times 3, we don't write it this way. We write it 3 times x. It's multiplication. We always put the number in front of the variable. So this is 4/3 R. And to solve for R, all we have to do in this particular case is just to multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal. Okay, so again, if you're like, oh boy, I don't really understand what's going on, well, you may want to check out my pre-algebra algebra course. I'll leave links to those in the description of this video. I have a ton of additional videos on algebra, all that kind of stuff. By the way, some of you out there, if you're interested in rebuilding your math skills, all that stuff that you forgot, or maybe you weren't, or maybe you never learned, check out my new course. It's called my Math Skills Rebuilder course. It's a brand new course. I start off teaching you basic arithmetic, then I teach you a ton of algebra, a ton of geometry. I even teach you some basic trigonometry and probability and statistics. It's a self-paced course. You'll love it. But anyways, you'll find a link to that in the description below if none of this stuff is making sense. Okay, so let's finish this up. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by this reciprocal. Okay, so 3/4. In other words, we're going to flip this upside down. So that's going to be 3/4 times this. 3/4 times 4/3 is going to be 1, right? 12 over 12, or 1R or R. But we have to multiply both sides of the equation by 3/4. And here, we're almost done. So 150 times 3/4 is the same thing as 150 over 1 times 3/4. So we're going to multiply 150 times 3, that's 450, over 1 times 4, which of course is 4. 450 divided by 4 is 112.5, but 112.5 what? Well, we already determined the units of measure will be in miles per hour. So this person's going pretty fast, but really, okay, for those of you that do drive the highways, unfortunately, we do see people driving that fast from time to time. Now, for me, I always drive the speed limit. I'm always going the speed limit. Now, come on now. I would be very untruthful if if I said, yes, indeed, I always go 60 miles per hour. But yeah, people do go pretty fast out there. You got to be very careful when you're driving, and you got to be very careful when you're doing math as well. Okay, I don't know if there's such thing as defensive mathematics like there is like defensive driving, right? But it's probably a good idea to have defensive math attitude, okay, which is to be, a little bit paranoid about making mistakes. Okay, that's a good thing, all right? You should always be double checking, triple checking your work. And the only way you're going to get better at math is by practicing. So even if you understand this problem, if you want to be able to solve problems like this more frequently, all on your own, you have to practice. Okay, so with all that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your mathematics adventures. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.